Chris Toler, Christoler. I'm a captain with Contra Costa County Fire Protection District. Yesterday morning, approximately 10:30, we got a call that it was originally dispatched as a gas leak, quickly turned into a hazardous materials incident. The homeowner, which we've gotten reports from the neighbors, passed away a few months ago. His brother was in the process of cleaning up his property, moved some chemicals he was cleaning up. He soon found out that those chemicals were hazardous materials. He was advised to go ahead and call the fire department or call 911. That initiated the hazardous materials incident or dispatch, and it quickly went from a small incident to a major hazmat incident, as you see behind us right now.
What kind of chemicals are we talking?
We're talking a lot of different chemicals, a lot of different classes of chemicals. We don't know everything that we have in the storage or that he had in the storage shed. The bomb squad and our hazardous Contra hazmat is busy processing all of that. They're trying to identify, contain, stabilize, and transport and properly dispose of those materials.
Any of them explosive?
Due to the classifications of materials or hazardous materials, there are some explosive classifications or explosive classes of products in that particular shed, but there are also a lot of other types of materials or chemicals in that
Do we know how long the
outdoor shed.
evacuation's gonna last?
We do not know. We're trying our best, and we're really sorry for inconveniencing the citizens of San Pablo. We're trying our best to work as quickly as we possibly can. We want to do it as safely as we can to get them back in their homes. So we request that they continue to be patient with us, and we're trying to repopulate the neighborhood as quickly as possible.
Tell us about the work the crews are doing now. You mentioned some of the explosive explosive materials in there. Is there a cause for concern? What are your crews going to be doing, now through the rest of the day?
The crews have to move methodically. They have to move slowly because they do not know, and a lot of the containers weren't labeled, so they don't know exactly what they're working with. So the process that they have to take is testing the material. The material, due to its very nature, what we consider explosive could just be a chemical reaction. A lot of the materials have been identified as being light sensitive, motion sensitive, reactive to water. So they have to be careful, and they're going through that process. Each of those types of reactions require different type of action from the hazard material technicians. So it's very methodical, it's very slow, and to ensure their safety and the safety of the neighborhood, they have to move in that slow pace.
Can you talk about the homeowner? It's rumored that he was a previous Berkeley professor. Do we know anything about him?
I don't know his title. We've heard that he was a professor. We've heard that he was a chemist, but that's just due to the neighbors in the neighborhood. So that's about all I know as far as what he did for a living.
Are any of these chemicals leaking, or are they all contained in their respective packages?
They are in improper containers, so they aren't stable. They should not be in the type of containers that they're in, or the containers have become so degraded over time that they are unstable. So we don't know.
Are these chemicals that someone is legally allowed to have, or is there anything illegal about it?
Due to the response you see behind us, I would say they were not legal in a neighborhood.
And how long do you think that they've been sitting in there?
We don't know.
Would you say months, days, or you have no clue?
Based on the look and appearance of the containers and boxes, I would say it's been years.
Oh, wow.
But we don't know when. I don't know personally. In the techs that are processing the scene, have no clue when different types of classes of materials are next to each other in that environment. So,
Is there any indication that these chemicals were being used illegally, as outside the fact that they were in possession, but for drugs, bombs, or anything like that?
there are no indications that point to a meth lab or a drug lab.
And is it safe to say that, people here are going to be evacuated at least until tomorrow?
Our hope is we can get them back in their homes at some point today, but I can't clarify or confirm that right now. We're trying as hard as we can to get them back here. Hopefully we can start repopulating areas around the perimeter, but I can't tell you exactly when that will happen.
You talked about most of them kept in bottles. How many bottles are there?
We have reports of hundreds of boxes with multiple chemicals in boxes, and it's a storage shed, so chemicals and containers are just placed throughout the shed. We got also reports or an estimate that the shed was 12 by 14 feet, and it's full.
So hundreds.
Hundreds of boxes.
Any idea or any indication what he was doing with this?
He passed away, so we have not had any contact with the original owner or the original store of the products.
Was the brother living in the home, or was he just coming in and out cleaning it
The
out?
brother was cleaning the home. The brother was cleaning the
How
home.
many people have been evacuated? We heard hundreds. Is that still the number?
You would have to get that number from Contra Costa College. That's the evacuation center. We went door to door here and made sure that the mandatory evacuation area was clear. So if they were not home, we couldn't get a number as to how many residents were in the home. We'll have another briefing at 12.
Noon?
At 12 noon here at 11 and Stanton.
Have you been able to remove any of the chemicals yet?
We have been able to remove some chemicals and dispose of chemicals. The bomb squad and the hazmat team has a record of what they have. We don't have that information readily available now to the public.
And just so I'm clear, they're able to test on site to determine what the chemical is and then what to do, is generally speaking.
I would have to get a subject matter expert out here to answer those type of questions for you.
And given this mandatory evacuation, is there any reason why crews were not working all throughout the night between like midnight and 6 a.m.?
Due to the safety of our crews and the residents, there is a fatigue factor that comes into play with the methodical process in which they have to process the chemicals. So we want to give them a rest period. This is our second operational period, so we anticipated on this being an extended incident. So it's pretty much standard for us to kind of give our crews rest and then send the technicians back in after a rest period. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.